Hey guys, Will here with MediaPlace. And in this video, we're going to go over some of our more advanced AI editing features inside of MediaPlace. All right, so the first thing to talk about before we get started is that, say for example, you're just kind of going through and you want to use one of these AI editing features and you click on it, it's going to say that you need to download a few plugins first, one time only, just to kind of get these AI plugins set up into your system first. All right, so you can click download all to get started. And once you have them all in there, you will be able to start utilizing these AI plugins inside of MediaPlace. All right, and once it's complete, we can then click back in here, and now we can start beginning to work through our tutorial here. All right, so the first AI feature I want to talk to y'all about is the remove background feature. All right, so if I open this up, you'll see we have two options. We have the simple option and we have the advanced. The simple option requires no credits, and you can use this as many times as you'd like. And then we do have the more advanced background removal, which does require credits, right? So I'm going to go ahead and use the advanced feature here, and it's going to do a really great job of removing the background on my guy here. And so then I can take him now, use him as a transparent background, put him on top of another project I have, use him as a cutout for some sort of ad that I want to do. But it's a really fast and efficient way to create, to cut out your backgrounds inside of MediaPlace, right? So that is one way to do it. And then now I'm ready to save this out. So we can call this portrait with, we'll say no background. And what I can do is I can save it directly there into the My Files. Or if I wanted to, I could drag this to the My Files to have a different folder that I have synced inside of MediaPlace, right? So now if I go to exit, you'll see that here is my transparent version. Here's the original, so that I could take this and use this for any project that I may have. All right, so now let's go back and let's go ahead and use this group photo here, right? And so we're going to go ahead and talk about color burst. So I'm going to open up the color burst and I'm going to apply color burst. All right, so now what color burst is going to do is it's going to kind of darken the background and make my subjects pop a little better. And it's going to give me some options to kind of make them pop even further from here, right? All right, so you can see here there's a saturation bar underneath the apply color burst button. And if I drag this up a little bit, it will then kind of make that color burst happen even more with that saturation pop that's given it. And then you can find that sweet spot that you like. And then there you go, right? So now your color burst has been applied. Now there may be some instances where your photo may not pick up all of the right people. So what you can do to kind of correct that is to more fine tune it is you can click on keep, and you can see in the pink all of the selection that the AI has made for you, right? So in this image, it did a really good job of selecting every single person correctly, right? But for example, maybe it missed a few spots. You could come in here and you could maybe like add a little bit of them to that by just coloring in that section, right? Or if it added something you didn't want to keep, you could click erase, and then you could come over here and erase that section out of your photo, right? So again, there's different ways to fine tune and make this clip work even better for you. But again, this is a great way to kind of really create that pop from some of those photos and give it a really unique look inside of MediaPlace. And again, from here, we could save this guy out too. So we could call this group photo with, and we'll call it color burst, right? And then now we can save it, and I'll just drag this one here to my files. All right, so it's saving. If I go to exit, you'll see that here is my color burst and here is the original, right? So it's looking pretty good. All right, so now let's go ahead and open up this rabbit here and let's talk about our remove objects feature. So if I open up the remove objects under the AI remove object, you'll see that we've got a draw and an erase, right? So I'm going to click on draw, and you can see there is my shape there, and you can adjust the shape size here in the bottom left or the opacity for it there. I think I got a good shape size, and I want to remove these leaves here because I just want it to be the tree. That way it just kind of breaks it up a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and make my selection right here. And then say, for example, you wanted to erase it, you can come over here to erase and then erase part of your mask there, right? But I'll keep that going. The best way that this works is if you color, you don't have to be super exact, like you don't have to punch in and just do the tree itself. It's best to get some of the surrounding area around the object so that the AI knows what to blend and what to work with, right? So let me go back to fit here. And now once I've done making my selection, I can then click remove objects. And then it will do a fantastic job of removing that tree leaf there and making it like it was never there to begin with, like I should say. So there you go. Now it completed it. And now it's just a tree. And now I don't have to worry about kind of that that leaf thing bothering me. So if you have specific objects and photos that you want to remove, this is a great tool to remove objects with, right? All right, so now we can save this guy, rabbit. We can call this, object, object remove. And then we can just save that to that same folder there, drag that in there, and then go to exit. And here is that photo there with the remove tool, right? So that's really cool. All right, so now let's open up our other picture here. And we want to remove text. So this is an awesome feature because this AI tool removes text automatically from your images. So I've got this picture of the mountains here, and I don't want to have the text in there, right? I don't like it. I think the text looks ugly. And I just want to get it out of there because I really want to use this image for something, for maybe a project that I'm working on. So I'll go to remove text automatically, and then I will select remove all text, right? And again, it will process out depending on the complexity of the image. It may take a little bit longer than other images, depending on what's behind it, what's around it. But there you go. It just finished, and it did a great job of removing the text. I mean, you would never thought that that text was even there to begin with, right? So now I can come here, and instead of mountains with text, we could say this is mountains without text, right? Without, so I know what I'm working with. And again, you do have the option to export this out to another primary hard drive that you may use, or just a different folder altogether on your computer. But again, if you have synchronized folders in MediaPlace, it will go to that location that is synced to your computer as well. So we can go ahead and let's just go ahead and save this here. And then we can go back and exit. And here is the clip without the text, and here is the original, right? So again, this is a really cool, powerful AI features inside of MediaPlace that we can work with. All right, so now we have another AI feature that I want to talk to you about, and that is the expand image. And this is a really cool AI feature because this is a square kind of setup for this owl photo. And I want to use this as a 16:9 setup, right? I want to be able to use this and not have to crop in and zoom in and scale it up and kind of like lose a little bit of that quality that it already has. So I'm going to open up my expand image, and here you can already see it's got some presets for you. So I could set this to 16:9 for me. Maybe I want a 1:1, or I want it to be 9:16. But since I want to make this larger or expand the image and the size and kind of have it recreate that for me, I'm going to go 16:9. You can customize these and create your own pixels depending on what you want. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on expand image. And you can see at the top, it's got the processing icon, so I know that it's doing its work there. And then once it's finished, you'll see that the sides of this owl, it's going to recreate them for me in the aspect ratio that I want. So there you go. It took it from more of a square image and it built out the sides for me. So now I can incorporate this into a video that I have and not have to worry about scaling up that image and losing quality. I've got a perfectly 16:9 image that I could just use straight off the bat, which is really awesome to have. All right, so the last image editing AI feature I want to talk to you about is our image upscale. All right, so inside of my edit, you'll see on the right-hand side up in the top corner, there is the upscale button. So I'll open that up and you're prompted where it says, choose your settings and click on the upscale with AI button on the right panel to apply the upscaling. All right, so you'll see here I have a model. So my first model is a generic photo. If I open it up, you'll see it's digital art or generic photo. So depending on what your photo is, mine's a headshot, so I'm going to go with a generic photo. But if you were using digital art, you would select digital art. All right, and then you can choose how many times up do you want to scale this, right? So you can go from 2 times all the way to 4. So let's go to 4 times, and it tells you, here is my initial resolution, right? My old one is 640 by 480, and my new one, when I scale it up, is going to be 2560 by 1920, right? So I'm going to hit upscale with AI, and it's going to start the work. Now, depending on what size your file is to begin with, it will determine the length of time it takes to scale it up. So if you want it, you can, the beauty of it is you can keep scaling up images more and more and more as many times as you want, right? So you can get these huge, awesome scaled up images. Just know that the larger the files are that you're trying to scale up, the longer it will take to scale that size, right? So just kind of know. All right, so if I zoom in here and go to fit, you'll see that here is my old before, and then here is the upscaled version. So you can see it really does a fantastic job at scaling up like an image and really bringing that quality out of a photo, right? So maybe you have a photo of yourself that you like a lot, but the quality isn't that great. Throw it in the upscale and it will definitely do a fantastic job. Even if you have a great looking photo and you want to make it bigger for a print, you can do that as well here, and it'll scale it up and upscale it even better, right? So again, these are really powerful tools inside of the edit section for AI features in MediaPlace. Hopefully you got some really cool quick tips out of this. As always, look out for future tutorials and keep creating.